All right. So the first concept we'll talk about is the concept of DXY. DXY is basically the dollar strength index. We use it to check the strength of the dollar, right? That's what it is. It's used to check the strength of the dollar. You can see US dollar currency index. So it's not a tradable instrument, but it's just used to measure the strength of the dollar. Now, the way the market is designed, when we're talking about when we're seeing the basic classes, we also said that currencies are actually quoted in pairs, right? Meaning you can't see a
Yes,
single
yes.
currency, they're always quoted in pairs. And the activity of one is seen through the other, meaning if one is buying, the other will be selling, right?
Yes,
So
yes,
what
yes.
this means, the dollar is king, the dollar controls most of the market around the world. So the direction of the dollar will determine the direction of other pairs. So you want to pay attention to what the dollar is doing because the dollar is one of the most transacted currencies around the world. Whatever happens, the dollar would have an effect on all other currencies around the world. That is why we pay a lot of attention to understanding the dollar. Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
So to check the strength of the dollar or what the dollar is doing per time, you have to check this index called DXY. So you come to your trading view and you just trading view and you search DXY and you would see the this thing pop out. It will also come out as a chart like this on all time frames so that you can study the strength of the dollar per time. Is it clear?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes.
So how can you use this DXY to measure what's happening on other pairs? It's very simple. There is what we call X X USD pairs. Then we have USD X X X. So what are XXX USD pairs? They are is a phenomenon where other currencies are paired together with the USD. So if you have another currency before USD, they are XXX USD pairs. So we have GSD, GPP USD, Euro USD, NZD USD, AUD USD, right?
Yes,
Did you
yes.
get it? GU, EU, AU, NU. Those are XXX USD pairs because the base currency comes before the base is another currency while USD is the quote.
Okay.
So what this means in an XXX USD currency, if dollar is weak, the base currency will be strong. If dollar is strong, the base currency will be weak. Do you get it?
Yes, yes.
So if this is GBP USD, for example, GU, and you check DXY and DXY is strong, what that means is that GBP USD is going to be going down.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, GBP USD as a pair will be going down. Why? Because the dollar is strong. Remember I said when the currency is quoted on the chart, when it is displayed on the chart, the data that you see on the chart is only the data for what? The base currency. The data of the quote currency cannot be seen on the charts. Are you following?
Yes, yes.
Is it making sense?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so usually this data, what this candlestick is showing you, is shows you only the data for one side of the market. It can't show you data for two sides, but just looking at one side of the what one side of the market is doing, you can have an idea of what the other side is doing. So example, this is DXY alone. Remember DXY is dollar standing alone, it is not paired with anything. We can see that this is the weekly time frame. In the past few weeks, dollar have been bearish, right? What does it mean? The
Yes.
dollar is weak. So if we look at GBP USD, what are we going to see? Let us compare. I want to compare it for you to see. Can you see? What do you see on GBP USD? Going up. Why is GBP USD? Remember that this is the data for the base currency that is displayed. Can you see that GBP is
Yes.
going up?
Yes.
When dollar is going weak, GBP is going up. Why? Because they must go in opposite direction.
Mm. Okay.
Is it making sense?
Yes, yes. It is.
Yeah. So depending on what the XXX USD is. So if this is EU and if EU is going down, what is happening on dollar?
That means it is going. But if EU is going down,
Yes,
okay, dollar. That means dollar is going up.
exactly. Dollar will be going up.
Because yeah, euro is going down.
Yes, because euro is going down. Exactly. So we use the dollar. We want to always know what's happening on the dollar because it's going to help guide our decision as to what we should be doing on other pairs. So for USD XXX, what do we mean? These are currencies where USD is the base, so any other currency can come as the quote. So you can have USD JPY, USD CHF, USD SDG, USD anything. But as long as USD is the base, they are called USD XXX currencies. Remember that in every chart, what is displayed? Is it the base or the quote?
The base. The base.
The base. So on the chart of, if this is UJ means USD JPY. Meaning if you see a chart and you see something like this, what is it telling you? What information are you getting?
That the USD is going up.
And what's happening to JPY?
Is going down.
Is going down. Exactly. You're correct. So there are times that USD and JPY can be going up at the same time, but it's very rare. But most of the time, you want to see them going in the opposite direction. UJ is a bit weird in that kind of waka, and I'm not a UJ person. So
Okay.
remember, I like base currency. I like major currencies aside Japanese currencies. But recently I've been looking at CAD JPY and it's been very beautiful though.
Okay.
So that's sorted. So you know how to use DXY now, right? And what DXY you
Yes.
can interpret the information it's giving you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so it is we just use it to check what's happening on the dollar because we know dollar is king and all other markets will move in the direction of the dollar. So we just use DXY to know what's going on the dollar so that it can help us decide on what we should be doing in the market per time. Is it
Okay.
clear?
Yes. Yes.
Does that answer your question?
Yes. It does. It does.
So what other questions do you have?
Did I check or?
Yeah, if you have your questions written, you can read them out.
I didn't write them out. Mm. I think what I talked about is just the part of the Fibonacci retracement and
Okay, so
just realize that now.
we can forge ahead then, are we?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so I would still like to stress the fact that you should do your markups on the higher time frames. Don't get confused with the lower time frames. Learn to mark up from the higher time frames downwards. Now I've done two top down analysis and sent to you, and you see that I always analyze from the top downwards. So always analyze from the top as you head downwards. Very, very important. So I would let's run a little bit of analysis tonight again, and I would just like to do a breakdown of the trade that I took this week. Maybe you would get to understand better. So this is US oil. I'll go back to the monthly time frame. So when I looked at US oil this month, I noticed something had happened in US oil. I noticed that US oil printed an engulfing candle here. This is a bearish engulfing candle, right? And what
Yes,
does a
yes.
bearish engulfing candle tell us? It's telling us that the market is selling or is going. There's a potential for the market to sell, right?
Yes, yes.
So for me to see a bearish engulfing candle on the monthly time frame, it's already telling me that US oil looks bearish. And as usual, I said whenever you see price reacting from a particular area and you don't understand what's happening, what should you do? Look left. Always look to the left of your chart. Why are you looking to the left of your chart? You want to spot if there is any key zone price is reacting from. Are we together? So if I
Yeah.
look left here, I want to mark up from this point where price is reacting and just drag left. I can't really see anything clear here because I'm on the monthly time frame. So what should I do? I'll go back to the weekly time frame. This chart, we actually analyzed it earlier this week, right? But this current move
Yeah.
in the market, we've not talked about it. So now, what do I do again? I'll still come back and drag my rectangle from this zone. I'll just be dragging left to see if I'll hit any zone. And I can see that there is a zone here. Can you see it? This was
Yeah.
an old resistance. Boom, boom, boom. Price reacted from this resistance multiple times. And it has come back to retest that resistance for a fourth time. And I said the fourth touch of the resistance is still valid, right?
Yes. Yes.
So we can trade this fourth touch of this resistance because it is still valid. So boom, price came into it for the fourth time and we can see that market is selling. So now that we know what market is doing, what is our next call of duty? We want to see possible areas price would want to trace into. Where is the major key zone here after that one? I can see, I know there's a key zone somewhere here. This whole point is a key zone. So there is high possibility that as market is selling downwards, it may sell to this key zone before we see any major reaction, right?
Yes. Yes.
So what have I ended up doing on this time frame? I've ended up marking up key zones. So I will go down to the next time frame, which is the daily time frame. What am I looking for here? Am I focused on key zones or structure?
Structure.
Yeah, but does that mean I won't look out for key zones?
You have to look at the pictures as well.
Exactly. So on the daily time frame, I want to see the current trend, the current structure of the market. What is this current structure? It's bearish because it's printing lower
Yeah.
lows and lower highs. We are breaking old lows. Now, if you feel you cannot see the lows properly using this, you can switch to a line chart. Can you see how clear it's looking now with a line chart?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, you see, it can show you the lows clearly. Looking here, I can see that we broke this low. So this is our last low. You could, for since you're starting out, you could be using lines to indicate your last lows and last highs so that you will know where the highs are. And for me, this is my last high. I'm going to put a write up on it. I'll call it last high, right? So I know what that point is. Last high, I've signified it. So as long as price continues to trade above below this last high, we are bearish. Except if price trades above it, then I'll believe the market is switching into a bullish trend.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
You're right.
Exactly. So I've switched back into my candlestick. So in the past as well, remember I said always look left if you want to know what is happening in the market. I can see that we have this zone here.
Yeah. Mm.
We have an old support zone which is now acting as a resistance.
Resistance. Yeah.
It's acting as a resistance currently. So price is reacting from a major key zone. It has reacted once, came back for it a second time. So on this time frame, I'm going to now determine my current profit level. This is the last major low that I can see here, right, on the daily time frame. So even if I am looking to
Yes.
sell
Yes.
US oil, I'll only want to be selling to about 7300 level. That's where I will want to sell to. Now, now that I've done all of this, what have I achieved on this daily time frame? I've seen the current structure and I've been able to mark key zones based on this
Mark.
current structure of the market,
Okay. Mm.
right? And also I've been able
Yes.
to
Yes.
select a target area. For now, don't bother with target areas. I'll teach you that later. But my major concern here on this time frame was that I looked at the structures and I was able to mark up key zones. Now, if you notice what I didn't really focus on all the other PDRAs like other blocks, mitigation, and no, sorry, other blocks and fair value gaps, right?
Yeah,
I
okay.
focused more
Yes. Yes.
on mitigation blocks, support and resistance, right? If we wanted to
Yes. Yes.
do fair value gaps. This was a fair value gap, right? This was an FVG.
Mm.
Yeah, but for now, I want you to focus on learning to mark support and resistance mitigation blocks. Fair value gap will add it. But for now, this is the best way. Mark up mitigation blocks that aligns, which are also support and resistance. So you see that I've marked up this zone and price reacted from it the first time to the downside, broke structure here. This is a break of structure, right? And it
Yes,
has
yes.
come back to retest it again. So this is our last high. So as long as price does not trade above this last high, what am I? Bearish.
It's
So
bearish.
from the daily time frame, I will switch directly to the 1 hour time frame. I don't really do 4 hours time frame. So what am I expecting here? The way I trade US oil is a bit different from the way I trade other pairs. So on US oil, this is what I do usually. I wait for candlestick patterns to take my trade. Do you grab?
Okay.
I use
Yes, yes.
candlestick patterns to take my trade. So because I'm using candlestick pattern to take this trade, I can actually have, and this was where I entered myself from today, here, and this is where my stop loss is. So I like to enter my trades based on the signal I get from the 1 hour time frame, and I use the 1 hour zones to keep my stop loss, and I write the trade down. That is how I trade US oil. So on the other ones, I can go down to lower time frames to get an entry like 5 minutes or so. But on US oil, I like to use the 1 hour, sometimes 15 minutes time frame. It
Okay,
works
okay.
better for me that way. So now what am I supposed to do? Price has traded back into these key zones that we marked. What are you supposed to do? Look for a candlestick pattern to trade. But first of all, you want to study the structure of this time frame you've come to. Remember, we are driven by structure, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes, so I want to study the structure of this 1 hour time frame first to see, does it align with the sell that I'm looking for? Is the structure bearish like what the higher time frames are doing? So before now, you can see it was printing what? Higher highs and higher lows.
Okay.
It came here, it failed to create a new high, then broke this low. So here, this was a break of structure, right? Do you agree with me?
Yes,
That
yes,
was a break.
I'm getting.
That was a break of structure. So the break of this low and the failure to create a new high, what has it told me? This market is looking bearish. It has broken its old low and failed to create a new high. So what will I do? I'm going to now mark up this 1 hour time frame mitigation block or support and resistance. That's just what I'll do. Now, where is it for me? You already know where the support and resistance is. This is it, so I won't suffer myself showing you that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So I marked it up. Boom. Price came back into it. Reacted last night. Played. Came back into it. Formed this engulfing candle. So upon the close of this engulfing candle, you could actually take a shot.
Okay.
You take a shot. But for me, I took this shot earlier than this. So I took this shot earlier than this. I took a shot somewhere here. That was my stop loss actually. It was a wide trade because I'm targeting a lot on US oil, and the market closed me in some profit. So I'm in some profit. If we move this to the 5 minutes time frame, the entry is tighter, but I'm not going to show it in this video. I'm sure you already know how I do my lower time frame entries, but there was a nice entry here. Yeah, but for now, let's leave that alone. So you can see how I did my markups from the higher time frame, but I was very conscious of what and what key zones and structures.
This is market.
Yeah. So is this clear?
Yes, it is.
Any other questions?
No, 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 no.
Alright. So I'm trying to keep this video short. If you don't have any questions, I think we'll call it a day for today. Now the reason why our classes is short is because what we're dealing with now is basically We'll just come and analyze. I want you to see it, go back, watch it, try to do it. So it's analyze, go back, watch it, try to do it. That's what we'll be doing. So once I see that you understand the concept and you know how to do it already, then we will now talk about entries. Then from entries, we'll talk about psychology and money management,
Okay.
amongst other things we'll still talk about. Are we good?
Okay. Yes, we are good.
Yeah, yeah. So I want more of practice than more of talking, because
Okay.
I just can't come and keep talking every day. Are
Yes,
you
yes,
putting it to work properly? So if the videos are long, it will be difficult for you to watch them again because it will be boring, right?
yes, yes.
Yeah, but when it's short, you can watch it 5 times, 10 times, as much as you want. So are we good? No questions?
No, no. Yes. If I have any, I will type and send you. I'll
All right
quickly
then.
work on them.
All right, all right. So give me a sec. Okay, I think that's it.